SGC here, and it's Wesley once again.
Hey guys.
And today's movie review is Elysium, directed by Neil Blomkamp. You know him as the director of District 9, and it stars, the biggest name pretty much is Matt Damon and Jodie Foster. It takes place in 2154, far into the future, and the plot is basically about sort of like comparison to District 9 between like rich and poor sort of thing. So we have Elysium, where everybody is super rich and super healthy because they have amazing technology, while everyone on Earth is sort of just sucking in life. And then Matt Damon, pretty much something happens to him and then he has to get on Elysium pretty much. So what did I like about this film? I would say the biggest thing for me is the immersion, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Like the world building, I think.
It's contagious.
The world building that Blomkamp made this time around, it's a lot bigger in scope compared to District 9, I would say, because I think with District 9 you felt connected to like the rest of the humans. It was humans versus prawns, but then this time it was like a new setting where it's disconnected, that we don't know much about this world, where there are droids walking around and you have this place called Elysium, and then where Matt Damon lives in Los Angeles, which was in ruins, just is not great. So the immersion was really awesome. There was a need or want to know more and more. And anything?
That's maybe kind of a downfall. Like it got you really interested in kind of the world that Matt Damon lives in, and the kind of Los Angeles of 2154 versus Elysium out in space, and then it just doesn't tell you anything about it.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest part, that you would want, come on, more information, like why are things this way, how did they get here, but they didn't build that.
All they have is this little like lame thing at the beginning that says, oh, at the end of the 21st century, Earth sucked, and so the rich people lived on a new space station. It doesn't say why.
Yeah, so I think Matt Damon here was pretty good.
Yeah, no complaints.
Yeah, I mean, like, he was just his normal, like, you know, like, beaten down sort of guy. Oh, gotta, like, risk my life for a job.
Yeah, kind of a reluctant hero, almost. Yeah.
And then Jodie Foster was pretty good. I mean, she was really menacing. I don't know if I didn't get that vibe from her in the trailers as much, but when you go in, she is really, like,
ruthless.
Because she's just, like, in charge of, like, this facility of Elysium and the protection of Elysium, that she really goes beyond the call of duty to do what she finds is the right thing to do compared to everyone else on Elysium. And
yeah, one of the best ways to when kind of judging characters in when writing is that with villains, a good villain never actually thinks that they're the villain. And I guess there's that saying that every person is a hero in their own story. And you can really tell that Jodie Foster this whole time thought she was doing the right thing. Yeah. That this is what needs to be done to protect Elysium. And so it's not just a haha blow them up evil. It's for real reasons.
Yeah.
And though you might not agree, it's a valid viewpoint.
Yeah, because I mean, without getting into the story, she really justifies it with her own logic as to, like, humans from Earth are, wow, Elysium people are so high and mighty that when people come up...
it's a very Republican way of thinking. They took her gerbs.
Also, there was actually Sharto Compley, who was the lead actor in District 9, if you remember him. And he actually was Agent M. Kruger. Kruger. And he's the main antagonist, like physically, pretty much. He's like the threat, while Jodie Foster actually never meets Matt Damon.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yeah, and they're like the top name on the poster. But yeah, so the main threat here is Sharto Compley, and he is, wow, I think just comparing his acting between District 9 and here is so drastically different that I would say he needs to be, like, picked up and be in more films, for sure. Because, like, in District 9 he was Wilkes Vandermeer, and he was all, like, really reluctant to, like, just trying to do his job. But here is like a total opposite, and he's like just crazy guy who's like an agent and just doing crazy agent things, and it was just like he was so into it, that.
Yeah, he kind of the movie kind of starts him off as kind of Jodie Foster's attack dog. I guess that because it's kind of established that he's not totally mentally kind of
There.
all there. But I guess Jodie Foster's the one who kind of keeps him there because she realizes that he's an important tool. But eventually he kind of evolves to be more than that, more than just a tool. He does actually have his own motivations, and you find out later.
Yeah, and then his performance with dialogue, with like his chemistry between the characters, is an interesting play. As he's sometimes he's super serious, but he'll not have that. Like what am I saying? Like he'll have it's super serious, but he's talking about random stuff.
Kind of vibes the Joker a little
Yeah.
bit. Because kind of how the Joker, though it'd be a really dangerous situation, he wouldn't always, speak why so serious, right?
Mm-hmm.
He'd always kind of have a little bit of humor in there, and I feel
Yeah.
like he kind of does that too in this film.
Yeah.
This movie got a little preachy. You could definitely tell this is a very liberal film, and that sometimes it kind of beats you over the head with its message a little bit that we should share and everyone should be equal. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that sometimes the film kind of makes it a little bit too obvious.
Yeah. And also, one other thing that you will see in the trailer is that Matt Damon gets suited up with this exoskeleton thing, and I really loved what they did with it, because sometimes you would feel when you're suited up, you're gonna be crazy and awesome, but throughout the film, he actually was still vulnerable. He wasn't just became Iron Man.
He was a guy in a suit. He was a guy in a suit.
Yeah.
He wasn't a superhero.
Yeah, totally. So I just love the fact that they try to that they made it more realistic.
Overall, I think the violence in this film was despite the fact it's a science fiction film, kind of within the universe they establish things, or the violence reacts in a way that's very, very logical, in kind of a way that you would expect. For example, there's a scene in which I think Matt Damon shoots a rail gun, and it works exactly as you think it would. So he doesn't try to aim for the person as it goes around the corner. He just kind of moves to where he thinks he'll be across the wall, and then blows him to bits.
Yeah.
It's very smartly done, I think.
Yeah. Oh, also there's slow-mo here. I think it was done well, where it just really captures the action sequences sometimes. Especially when he had this gunfight with one of those robots, where the slow-mo just added even more to the power of the gun and stuff.
It's not overdone.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's no 300.
Oh yeah.
No Watchmen, definitely.
Just no Zack Snyder here. Also, one craziest, or not really crazy, but really appreciative part of Elysium is that the product placement. I read an article about how Neil Blomkamp actually sought out specific product placement so that it actually was immersive and contextualized into the story itself, not just randomly having a Pepsi can in someone's hand or something like that. World War Z.
Yeah.
But rather you have Adidas with Matt Damon. It sort of made sense as we propel through 120
Okay, the Adidas
years.
bit was kind of a little bit out there.
Yeah.
You can, in the beginning you see him getting ready for work and he's putting on his jumpsuit, and then it cuts right to his feet at this pair of Adidas sneakers, and he puts it on.
Yeah.
And they never mention it.
Yeah, but I guess the cars really made sense. I mean, you got your GMC, and you said it was a Nissan
GTR.
For the lower class of humans, because it's Elysium is super rich, so they got Bugatti.
Yeah, they had a Bugatti designed shuttle to Elysium.
So that's pretty cool. So I mean, props for that, because I haven't heard of directors where they try to contextualize product placement. So that's kind of a cool thing to see. So
I argue it's not necessary, but it's not done over the top here.
yeah. World War Z.
It would have worked just fine without it.
Yeah. But it was fun. I think the Bugatti thing was really funny though.
The more that I think about it, the less I like it. Actually.
Okay, we'll stop talking about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, anything I didn't like, I would say you touched on it. The preachiness was so very evident about the unfairness thing, and I guess like the beginning was kind of. What do you think about the beginning? Like the very, very beginning, setting up the world where he was young and with a girl. I thought that was kind of like, I don't know, like like the relationship between him and his love interest wasn't that strong.
If you could even call it a love interest.
Well, he fancied her for sure. So played by Alice Braga as Frey Santiago. I don't know. That was the one thing that felt. I don't know. Everything else was good, but just them sort of felt weird. Like every scene they were in wasn't
that
that.
was a little cliche, actually.
Yeah, like I wasn't. Didn't really like it that much. So
I think actually, now that I think about it, overall, if you remove the element of this social class war, the story is actually kind of mediocre.
Yeah.
It's not groundbreaking.
Uh-huh.
It's a traditional hero story. A couple of twists here and there, which I liked. With they bring in class issues, which I guess puts a twist on it. But if you boil it right down to its bare basics, it's not special.
Yeah. It's hero trying to save. It's not even a hero. It's just a dude trying to save himself, and okay, you can tag along, and then somehow I can save the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, you boil it down like that, then yeah. But I would say there were highlights here and there for sure, and I guess you can nitpick to the point where it's not as awesome. But I would say, as his second film after District 9, I would say he did all right.
It's not as good as District 9. Put it that way.
Yeah. So, anything else to add?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's all right.
Okay, so do you look forward to his next film? Like, would you go? Like, because pretty much, I think the biggest thing for Elysium was director of District 9.
Yeah. I kind of like where he's coming from with all his class issues and stuff, and he's really good at, I guess, filming that and capturing that atmosphere. But maybe if we could kind of try something new. I mean, you've already done 2 films where you've got this huge divide between rich and poor, and like I get that.
Yeah.
But like maybe try your hand at something different, so every movie doesn't kind of feel the same.
But just like repainted with something else.
Yeah. Right.
I think it would be cool if he did something sci-fi again. I think he should be. Do you think he should be stuck with sci-fi?
He's definitely got the vision for it.
Yeah.
Writing, I don't know, but maybe I don't know if he did the writing.
Yeah, he wrote it. He wrote it.
Okay. Maybe get someone else to do the writing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, he directed it, produced it, and wrote it. Last thing he should do is star in it too. But anyway, so that's pretty much it for this movie review for Elysium. It was cool.
It was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was
like
cool.
Yeah, like I think there were parts where it felt like a sci-fi game components were put into it and done correctly, unlike Doom.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's pretty much it for this movie review for Elysium, and that was all. See you later.
Bye, guys.